we go.
Hi, April. How are you?
Hey, I'm doing well. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. Thank you so much for asking. Can you hear me okay? Can you see me okay?
Yep, everything's looking good. When I go and explore the warehouse, we may get a little fuzzy, so I'll let you know if I have a hard time, but we're okay right now.
Yeah, we have a lot of people joining us right now, so let me briefly introduce ourselves. I'm Dasha Jennison with Red Rock Pastel Society of Nevada. Hi, Cindy. And in the bottom screen is April with Dakota Art Supplier, candy store, and a dream place of every pastel artist. So she's kindly agreed to show us around the store and warehouse. I'm very excited about it. So I'm gonna grab my coffee cup, what is a compliment of
Hey.
Dakota Art from previous IFs, and I'm gonna enjoy the tour. So please start with some history, like if, as a beginner pastel artist, you may not even know what such a place exists. So can you please
Yeah.
tell about it?
Yeah, for sure. Dakota Art's able to do something pretty unique by being a pastel specialist. It's something that a lot of other stores, especially the big box stores like your Jerry's and your Blick's, don't really like to deal with in a very, very delicate way, because pastels, as you guys all know, are very, very unique. They're fragile. They can be kind of costly. A lot of people have very specific needs when it comes to their materials for their art practice. So basically what happened with Dakota Art was Craig Lemley, who's the owner, some of you guys have met him. He used to work with the Daniel Smith art material maker in Seattle. They're really known for watercolors in particular, but they do handle other stuff as well. And about 21 years ago or so, Craig decided to branch off and take the knowledge that he had from that industry and get into doing his own retail store and eventually the Dakota Pastel Warehouse, which he actually started in his barn. And I've heard lots of really great stories about them packaging up orders, and they got this huge shipment of closeout, I think Giraud sticks, back when they were called pastels à l'écu or something like that, just ages ago, and handwriting all the UPS labels and everything, and just really, really started from scratch pretty much.
So you guys, for people who don't know, you call Dakota Art Supplies, and Dakota Pastels. And you guys located in what state?
Washington. We're in Washington State.
Yeah, Washington State, Mount Vernon, right? So that's a little bit confusing, but I spoke to Craig last time I was there, and he told me all the story and how this buffalo came through life and what it's your symbol and why it's Dakota Art Supply. So that's awesome.
Yeah, it's kind of cool because we also do have our situation right now. It's been pretty crazy. You guys can probably see a little bit in my office right here. We are actually working pretty much in the dark. Like, there's my retail store, the lights are off. And back here in the warehouse, which is behind me, and we'll go back there in a couple minutes. It's back there. We are still able to keep shipping, but it's with a really small crew. We have like 4 people in the building today, and everyone has, more than their 6-foot bubbles. That's pretty wild.
So guys, if you ever had a chance to order online and you had some customer service questions, April is the one who probably returned your phone call from Dakota Pastel. So this is her optimistic voice, and if you had any challenges or any questions about some new product, or you need to find out stick from the set, what you just don't know the number because you forgot to do color chart. So April is your girl. She's the one who can help you with all that.
Yeah,
she's always glad to do so. That's amazing.
And we do have a lot of fun with that too. We will have people, as Dasha mentioned, who will mail us a swatch of color from their favorite little piece of, a blue stick, and they don't know what the pastel was. And we'll actually take their color swatches, go into the warehouse and compare it with pretty much everything that we have to see what's the best match. And then we can contact you and let you know, hey, here's what we found. It might have been this. It's probably this, maybe not that. And we can get really, really close most of the time. If not, just nail it. So that's a really fun kind of option that we offer. We don't really advertise it on the website because we would probably get inundated with just thousands of
exactly.
full envelopes.
For good
but it is a really fun,
friends,
kind of a good
as
challenge.
an exception. So you mentioned what the lights in the store are off. Can we still take a peek, or we should go?
Yeah, for sure. I'll go ahead and take you guys around right now. I'm going to turn my camera around so you'll see what I'm seeing here. So here's just the very front of our retail where we carry some watercolors, and we have a little gallery of pastel paintings out there, which nobody can come and see right now because the front is locked. So it's really sad. See, there's all the lights are off. So that's pretty wild, but we actually are still doing curbside pickup for people. There's a piece from Tony Elaine from when he was here doing a demo. And there's Jennifer Evenhoos's wonderful cactus painting.
I remember that from last year's catalog.
Yeah, that's the cover of our most recent catalog, which is now like super duper out of date. So we are working on a new catalog, and that's hopefully going to be able to come out this year. So now we're in the warehouse. Here I've got some of our Blue Earth products on display. This is our house brand. We don't make them here in the warehouse.
Let me ask you about that. Blue Earth Pastel. So it's your house brand, but do you manufacture it in store, or like how it works?
We do not manufacture them here, but we worked really, really closely with the guy's name is Jim Pollard in Blue Earth, Minnesota, who was an oil painter. See, here's one of the new sets that just came out. And Jim Pollard had a really, really clever idea to do pastels in kind of a color theory organization. There, Dasha just put up 2 of the samplers, and oh, she's got the full meal deal. Yeah,
it's back. It's back when I thought I can paint and I was selling my art, you know, like when I was year into painting and I thought I can do anything. So I thought I can paint. So I sold like 7 of my pieces from a personal show, and that's how I treated myself. So
awesome.
I'm cherishing this set. And back to color theory. So this guy came out with a wonderful idea.
Yeah, so it really, really makes a lot of sense how he's organized the set. This is just a smaller half set of the full collection of 336 colors. And I'll show you guys how the Blue Earth kind of color families work when they're in the little boxes that they come in, because this really helps describe it really well. And so here's...
I notice you have them on sale right now, full set, but I was wondering, like, is it like mine in a wooden box, or it comes in individual boxes, one what is on sale on the website right now?
You can order either way, and I don't think we have a super special promotion going on at the moment, but we do put Blue Earth on promotion probably 3 or 4 times a year, so keep an eye out for, we'll announce if we have like a special price coming up, and usually we'll run that for a month, or we'll do like a super hot sale for like a long weekend or something like that. So so this is 2 of the boxes. This is the warm blues, and this is the turquoise, and you can see kind of how he's organized this so that everything in this box is all related to this kind of mother pigment down here in the corner. It's all this one blue, and what he does is he mixes it with the complement to get these grayed out lines here, the desaturation. And then he takes white to mix in the value, the tinting range. So everything in this box, all 28 sticks, is all related to the same exact color of blue or turquoise or red or pink or whatever color family you're working within, which is really, really helpful if you're someone who's, you know, let's say you're working on your little mountain range in the distance and you know that you need it to be a little bit more gray. But with a lot of other brands, you're kind of hunting and pecking to find one that looks like it's the right gray that you need.
And I have a question from the Cynthia. She's asking what's the texture of Blue Earth Pastel, and you guys come out with that wonderful chart. I guess you put it right by Cherry Ludwig.
Yes,
like
I'm going to come out here a little bit.
I will say it's a little bit more creamy, when Terry Ludwig, and it's kind of a dense stick, so there is not much dust or crumble compared to other extra soft pastels.
Yeah,
And
that's a great way of describing them. They are a little bit smaller than Terry Ludwig and a little bit, I want to say a little bit more creamy or buttery. And they do have a little bit less dust generated. Terry Ludwig sticks, I love Terry quite a bit, but they are a little bit on the dusty side. You get a lot of it on your hands as you're working, and Blue Earth is a little bit less.
Yeah, so it makes them great indoor stick, also as well as travel stick too, because they rather small, so you can fit more colors in your pachat box, and also they not crumble while you take them somewhere.
Yeah, so here's a Blue Earth stick, and I'm going to compare it to a Terry Ludwig here. I just need to go back into the warehouse again. If I'm coming and going in and out of the warehouse, it's so that we don't lose reception. So just a heads up on that. That's why I'm walking around and have this crazy jittery camera going on.
I hope we not get motion sticks, because you promised us to show some good pastel sticks. There is a great chart of pastel comparison, what you can find on Dakota Art Pastels. And I also will put it in a stories, like pastel comparison chart.
Perfect.
And if you want to order like Blue Earth with individual sticks on sale too, so you can buy individual sticks or order comparison set. This is the best way to introduce itself, not any two brands of pastels alike, but you need to try and pick which ones work for you.
So here's the chart that Dasha is talking about. You can find it in the inside cover of your 2016-2017 catalog if you still have that kicking around. It's right here. We also have this listed on our website, as well as a new version of this that's been updated as a printed postcard. And we are currently tucking that into all of the orders that are shipping out. And I'm also happy to mail you one if you'd like a physical one.
Hello from Spain.
Yay, hello. So here, just to show you guys, this is a Terry Ludwig, the Best Love Basics set, and a Terry Ludwig stick just compared to the Blue Earth, so you get an idea of the size. Oops, let's see if I can get it to focus a little bit there. It is a really similar, otherwise kind of square format. And the Blue Earth, one thing I kind of like about it is that they have the color numbers stamped into it, which obviously that rubs off right away if you're painting with it. So you have to kind of make note ahead of time if you want to remember what the color is called. But that's kind of the ID code for that color. So you've got a violet, cool, 7 is the tint, and A is the desaturation. So that's how that guy works. I'm going to go ahead and put my face back on here.
April, are you a pastel artist yourself?
I am, yes. I had played with pastel a little bit before working here, but not a lot. And I think they kind of knew that that was going to be a rarity for someone to come and work here and already be an expert. So I really started to enjoy them and fall in love with them after spending a lot of time with them here in the warehouse and seeing all of the different instructors who would come for our workshops and all the different painting techniques and stuff that you just get exposed to by working alongside the pastel artist community, which is really, really cool. So what I like to do is mostly wildlife related in my own work.
Hello, New Mexico.
Hello, New Mexico. Hey, it's Michael Chesley Johnson. Hello. We were supposed to have a workshop with him and it didn't work out recently, so we'll try again soon. Our workshop schedule has been just totally turned upside down with the whole virus, as you guys can probably guess.
I feel you. Same here. From the one pastel organization to another, but it's not gonna last forever. So yesterday was glimpsing of hope. So fingers crossed, and keep your optimistic attitude. So
yeah, fingers crossed. I see a question about shipping to Russia.
Do you ship to Russia? That's a great question.
We do, yep. International shipping can be quite expensive. It's based on the weight of the package, and we charge the actual cost that our shipping couriers charge us, which frequently is like $30, $50, $60, $80 US, plus whatever customs duties come across on the other side. So it can be pretty cost prohibitive, But if you're wondering about what it's going to cost you, what you can do is place an order online and we'll quote you the cost to ship before we ship the order. So you'll have an idea and you can decide if you want to change the order or cancel or anything like that. We're really easy to work
and
with on
it's
that.
also depends on dimension and stuff. So like how heavy and what dimensions are too.
Yep, and that's true too. And there are some cases where an order might be oversized, in which case we have to kind of work around that because that limits what shipping couriers we can use. Behind me there, you see some paintings done from instructors in our workshops. And right now I'm just going to go over here and grab, could you hand me a workshop postcard? Or not, yeah, that one, thank you. This is our postcard of the softness chart. I'll show that off a little bit to you. So this is what we're seeing in our orders.
Like it looks new. What painting is on it? Like who is an artist?
This is Teresa Saya.
Oh, I love her.
Yeah, she is known for an incredibly vibrant palette. She does these really, really wonderful kind of glowing sunlit scenes, dappled light. She does a lot of work in Italy as well and France, and she's based here in the Seattle area. And she comes and teaches workshops a couple of times a year with us. She's kind of a friend of Dakota, so it worked out nicely to get a wonderful piece from her.
She's wonderful. Had a chance to meet her in person.
Oh, you did? Yeah, she's got a very bubbly kind of personality.
She's such of sunshine.
Yeah. Question about how to join a workshop. If you go to dakotapastels.com and scroll down on the webpage until you see workshops, there's a banner. You can click on that and it'll take you to information about where we're located and how to register. What we do is we charge a $100 deposit for your class, and then we'll charge the balance a little closer to class time. And we'll help you kind of plan your arrangements and all that stuff as well. And you'll get to see the full descriptions and costs and all that stuff on the workshop page. So check that out. I saw an earlier question about Schminky, how soft that is compared to Blue Earth. We would consider that to be a little bit softer. Overall, they have a really, really good consistency, and they're really kind of pretty much on my chart here. I have them pretty much at the top of the page for softness. This is pretty much Dakota's. We had to kind of determine, you know, how to designate who's softer than who, and it really does come down to kind of nitty gritty. Like some people will debate and say, I think Terry Ludwig is a little bit softer, or I think Blue Earth is softer, or Snellier is softer. So sometimes you do have those kind of individual experiences that inform
and it also depends on the pigment. So some blues depend to be harder in a certain sticks, or some dark colors in a certain sticks, like way harder for some, like I guess pigment density, how it works too.
Yep, exactly. And most brands do a pretty good job of trying to make them pretty a uniform consistency. Like Schminky, I don't find as much of that super hard to super soft, you know, comparison stick to stick. But there are some brands that are a little easier to tell the difference. Like Snellier, for example, like Dasha said, a dark blue tends to be really, really hard compared to, say, a pale yellow. And that does mostly have to do with the type of pigment. And some pigments are just harder than others. It's like, you know, diamond is the hardest mineral that we know of. And so all the other minerals fall somewhere in line there. And that presents some really interesting challenges for paint makers and pastel makers, especially.
Are we moving towards small warehouse, or are we going to your classroom area?
We can kind of go into the classroom now. I'll turn my camera around again here. This is, oh, you guys will get a kick out of this. So this is part of our shipping area here, and on the wall you see this great collage of stamps, and those are all from past shipments from Diane Townsend Pastels. So you can see from Diane Townsend, she used to send us all of our shipments just coated with tons and tons of stamps, and we thought it was so cool. We finally made a little.
This is awesome, and.
Little poster on the wall, yeah. A question about delivering to Spain. We are shipping to Spain. However, I do want to point out that right now, let's see, we're starting to go outside. Right now, international shipments are seeing a lot of delays because of the coronavirus. So I am recommending that if you are in France or Spain or somewhere else in Europe, hi from France, we do suggest that you hold out for a couple of weeks to see if things kind of wind down a little bit. So when you come for a workshop, we actually feed you guys a continental breakfast. And here we've got our great big workshop space. So, Dasha, can you still see me okay?
Yes, you was fading in and out, but right now we're back, so we didn't lose you, and we can see.
Perfect.
Let me introduce myself again. I'm Dasha Jamison with Red Rock Pastel Society of Nevada. We're doing series of interview to promote our online exhibition, what is taking place right now, and we did extend entry deadline to accommodate all the artists affected with the current war situation. So you still have time to create your wonderful pastel piece before April 25 and submit processing on www.showsubmit.com. So prospectus and everything available on Show Submit and also on the Red Rock website. We have amazing prizes, and Dakota is one of our sponsors, but we choose something special for you from the Dakota Art. We decided not to go with a prize from them. You can win some money prizes and spend them on Dakota Art. But we're doing something great for Red Rock members. We have special discount code for Red Rock members on supplies only. And if you direct message me, you will get the code on 10% off to spend on art supplies at Dakota Art. And if you are a member of Red Rock, you should have received it in one of your member welcome emails. So if you didn't have it, you want it, please direct message me, email me. I'm Dasha with Red Rock Pastel Society of Nevada, and this is April, and we're live from Dakota Art.
Hello. All right. Thanks so much, Dasha. Dasha has been doing a fantastic job with the Red Rock Society. It's a really new pastel society, and they just hit the ground running really, really well. So it's been really fun watching their progression. I decided to come back into the warehouse here because our connection gets a little bit fuzzy back in the warehouse or in the workshop space.
Absolutely. Yes, you can participate from Spain. You just need to become a member of Red Rock, and we open to all the artists. There is no shipping required, so yes, you can.
Something I've noticed during this whole coronavirus stuff is that a lot of people are going to online shows for their pastel societies, and that's actually been working really pretty well. Of course, everyone would love to be able to be in person and pop a bottle of champagne and see the real paintings in person, but it's a really great to see people kind of adapting and coming up with ways to still enjoy and participate.
As a pastel artist, do you have your favorite pastel and favorite pastel paper?
Yeah, so my favorite pastel, I have to tell you, I do have quite a collection of different brands, which should be no surprise, but I tend to like working with a square stick. I like being able to grip it on its side and get some really broad gestural marks. So that does lead me toward a lot of Blue Earth, Terry Ludwig, some Great American. But I also do have a lot of Unison and Sennelier in my collections. And I think ultimately what I find works for me, which everyone has their own way of working, obviously, but I know the strengths and weaknesses of all these brands in terms of the colors that they have. So, for example, Sennelier is really, really known for a super great dark green and some great reds. And so I like to kind of play to those strengths and draw from what I know every brand has available. So it's really kind of nice to have a sense of those color charts, which you can see on the manufacturer's websites as well as on our website.
If you're novice and just trying to get accustomed with some new brands and just figure out what you need, Dakota is also a great educational website where you can learn about pastels. And what's one of the great features is what you send. You send color comparison softness sets. Those been my favorite, and we got that for our members at Red Rock as a compliments from you. So members can actually try, touch, and compare different colors, and you have soft and hard set, right, of those. This is a great way to learn about pastels.
Yeah, we do make these sampler sets. I don't have one open here, but I can show you what the package looks like. So what we do is we will create samplers that have one of each of the different soft pastel brands that we carry, we have a soft or a medium hard set, as she mentioned. So this would have all light colors, all different brands, and we try to vary it so that you're getting a variety of colors and values and temperatures in there. while still, you know, getting to experiment with all the different brands. So that's a really, really handy way to kind of really dive in a little bit and get your toes wet if you're kind of starting with pastels and you're not sure what brands are going to work for you and what type of textures you like. It's kind of nice to be able to explore that a little bit. And all the sticks will be really useful one way or the other. So it's not like you're going to get one you like and then the rest you're just not going to like them. It's more likely that you'll be able to use all of them, and then you'll kind of gravitate towards including, you know, a couple of brands that really seem to work well for you as your main workhorse.
And here's a question from New York, from our member. What blues are the best? What
blues are the best? That's a tricky one because of, again, all these different factors of how hard or soft it is, and what type of thing you're painting, what subject matter you have. Even the type of paper that you work on can affect your experience with a stick. All that said, I know, blah, blah, blah. I do think that Terry Ludwig's done a really good job with their blue set of 30. Unison has a really good couple of blue sets. And I also am pretty impressed with Richardson hand-rolled, which I'll go over there right now. They have probably the prettiest color rack in the whole warehouse. They have 525 different colors. This is the color rack right here. And it's just like, oh, it's taller than I am. You can see there's me. I can hardly reach them.
So, I can, like, you just need me to get there someday. Like, I can reach from the upper shelf, you know?
Yeah. So one thing that I find that happens with blues is everyone does a really good job with some of the warm blues, like these guys in here. But sometimes some brands tend to be a little lacking on turquoises. And Richardson that we're looking at here does a pretty good job with their turquoises. They have a nice long range of green, blue, and warmer blue turquoise colors. So that can be kind of nice.
See, oh my God, I'm like a squirrel. Like...
This is that Ocean Blues. I think it was Julie Kaufman who pointed out they did a really nice job there. And these are, I think, designed by... I'm going to put my foot in my mouth because I'm blanking on her name, but the artist who does
very
those
wonderful
glaciers.
artist. They had article about her on their website, I believe.
Yeah.
But I also blanked the name.
I know, it's like Zarya or something like that. Anyway, she does these fantastic, huge scale paintings of glaciers focusing on climate change. And they're really fabulous. And she works with Unison. So I think that set of Ocean Blues was based on her colors. So back to Dasha's question about paper. Lots and lots of options there, of course. My personal favorite right now, this might seem like an odd one, but I really, really enjoy Carte paper. For me, it has a really nice visual texture that I find really, really appealing. It does have that one pretty serious quirk of not being able to put water on it.
Yeah, do not sneeze on it. Like,
don't sneeze on it. Don't spill your coffee on it. We'll get another look at the warehouse here. Yeah, so Carte just works really well for me because of that visual texture. I do find that I can get away with a little bit of alcohol, and that actually seems to work okay without destroying the surface, but you do have to be a bit careful with the water. Otherwise, I mean, UArt's always a great go-to because it's very utilitarian and rugged. You can beat the tar out of it and it'll still, it'll still hold. You can kind of wash it off and underpaint with it really well. Dusty pink and blue colors. I see a question there. Brands. Check out Diane Townsend soft form. She has a set called Misty Mobs, which is probably not super light, but it is a nice one. And yeah, so that's one way to go. She's a good subtle colorist. She has a lot of really soft, kind of subtle tones. So I really, really like hers. Yeah, back to paper. If you're someone who really, really likes color, Art Spectrum Color Fix is a fabulous one. They have 20 different colors, so you can kind of go just crazy. They have a really nice rich terracotta, which is super popular for underpainting landscapes because it gives that green, on your landscape a really nice vibrance. They also have a really good like shadow violet, which is pretty cool.
So let's get back to our online competition. So I was talking about Red Rock exhibition, and I noticed you're doing something wonderful too. So you have online show, and you're not Pastel Society. So that's a kind of a great way to show your work during your spring, and it was winter competition, and right now is a spring competition, right? So anybody without joining Pastel Society can send your work. too,
Yep,
right?
that's exactly right. What we really wanted to do was kind of open the playing field a bit so that people who don't normally have a chance to join competitions have a place to show their work, and they have a chance to win some really, really cool, great cash prizes and gift certificate prizes. So what we've done with our competition is, rather than focusing it on kind of the typical categories like landscape, portrait, wildlife, that sort of thing, we actually broke it up into just two categories. So one is established artists, which is where we expect that most of the really, really established, kind of the common winners are going to end up.
Household names like Tony Alain, Vincent Painting.
Yeah. A lot of you tend to see a lot of the same names taking home awards in pastel competitions, which is it's good. It honors their work, and they are amazing artists. But it does tend to be a little bit discouraging for people who feel like they're kind of up and coming and they want to show, or maybe they show locally and they just aren't known on the pastel broader circuit. So that's where the emerging category comes in, and that is a little bit of a misnomer, because people do tend to break that down into professional and beginner, and that's not really what we're going for there. We are encouraging you to compete in whichever group that you feel comfortable.
I like how you divide it. We may adapt that for us too. Like if you've been painting and doing it for longer than 4 years, so then you can call established, and if it's less, it's emerging. Because there is time also, and you can be as good in year one, but it just takes time to engrave yourself in the pastel board. And we were happy that 2 of Red Rock members got some great prizes too. So Christine Croyer and Cindy, congratulations to both of you in the winter quarter. So I'm wishing to see more of your work out there, and also I wish you will participate in our online show too, the Emerging Pastel Society. So like we can all call ourselves emerging artists, but I'm been very happy what a lot of established artists joined us, and some from Nevada, some from all over the world. So that's been kind of a journey for us too. April, I think we went over our time limit, and it's what happens when you're having fun. And thank you for showing us all the beautiful pastels. And
you bet. Before we go, I'm going to try and sign us off with a little treat here. Hey, Jackson. You guys probably know we have a couple of warehouse dogs who hang out with us in the office.
Thank you all, guys.